Okay, surprising. So we got some news on some more Twitter stuff, pictures, because we had Naruto Oshima showcase some Sonic CD cells, which is look fucking still looks beautiful to this day.
Again, yeah, yeah. Thanks, mate.
But where's his name? Where's his name? Where the fuck is your name?
As I was going to say, this is going to be a difficult one to say. So
Where are you? Where the there? Where Hirokazu Yashihara,
there we go.
who worked alongside Yuji Naka and Naoto Shima, and he was one of the founding fathers of the classic Genesis Sonic games.
As we said, there are three creators really behind Sonic the Hedgehog, not just one.
Yeah, Yuji Naka is one of the founding fathers of Sonic. It is not like he's not the father.
Yeah, in the same way, like
Yuji
Stan
Naka
Lee's.
was the programmer. That's why the game
Yeah,
was fast.
exactly. In the same way, like how people look at Stan Lee as the godfather for everything Marvel, is like that's not strictly true, but whatever. That's a different story.
No, but from a I really should read these articles before.
So, all right.
Gamma Sutra's Brandon Sheffield showcased some concept art of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that showcases time travel. Now, to anyone who doesn't do Sonic theories or actually did in-depth research to Sonic CD, I already know Sonic 2 was going to be time travel.
Yeah.
But this showcases a lot more of what Sonic 2 was originally going to be, but eventually dropped just to make a very standard game, but going to be bigger than what it actually turned out to be.
Yeah. I mean, they did the rule of basically make the game again, but bigger, better, and faster type attitude.
Pretty much. And we see, we have what looks like South Island, but going to be eventually known as the West Side Island.
Yeah, ironically, the people have pointed out that the drawing of the island does look like the one from the 8-bit game, am I right?
Yeah, the map screen from Sonic 1 8-bit.
So again,
so it looks like South Island before it was changed to West Side.
Yeah, so
we have 4 different variants of this.
Yeah,
showcasing the zones. So I'm putting up on the screen right now, which forgive the angle and what you can't read, but still, they're going from Green Hill, Ocean Wind, Wood Zone, Sand Shower, Metropolis, and going to a warp point, which people have actually speculated that could be Hidden Palace. I want to see Ocean Wind and Sand Shower be an actual name for futures, because Ocean Wind Zone sounds fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
Go on, it's 2 nouns. You rarely get 2 nouns.
Yeah.
No, we always get 2 nouns. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. An adjective. We don't really get an adjective sometime.
Yeah.
And furthermore, we actually get a bad future, and this is where Chemical Plant and Night Zone would have resided, but along with Genocide City. And to all those who actually go, oh, Genocide City, what the hell? Japanese people don't know what the word genocide means.
Yeah, let's be fair, words mean different things in different countries, so...
Yeah, like the word fanny.
Yeah. We could go on for that for ages.
And the entire South Island is got domes, there's ramps and tubes everywhere. It looks... I wouldn't mind seeing this game being put into fruition. So, Taxman and Stealth, get on this. Sonic Mania 2, include time travel.
But yeah, it's interesting to see this, as you said. I mean, the whole idea of this, as you said before, Sonic 2 was going to have that, one level was going to be in the past, then present and future and stuff, and it was going to do the CD thing of go into the future, stop something, go to the past.
I think on seeing this, I think the actual time travel is going to be a narrative rather than an actual gameplay. Because it seems like the entire island changes. So you go from the past where Green Hill and Metropolis are. Here you go to the bad future, which showcases Chemical Plant and Genocide City. And next we got the ancient part. We got Hilltop, Blue Lake, Rock World, which fucking hell, Rock World.
Yeah.
We're ripping off Super Mario to a really, really tropical plant zone. And you also have Olympus there, which I assume eventually became Aquatic Ruin.
Yeah.
And finally, we have Dust Hill, Oil Ocean, and Rock World again. Which looks like an even more kind of a good future or bad future. Not too sure why Oil Ocean is there.
If you're going to pollute up area, you might as well just cover it. Well,
so the game was going to be bigger and have more narrative driven between these islands.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny enough. Again, we didn't really get that until Sonic 3, where instead of just ending the zone and then we get the next title card, it would just continue from there, or we would fade into the next area, or a little sequence where they fly off and they head somewhere else.
Yeah, and there's also you see it on the thumbnail as well. It's like Sonic 2 is Planet Time Travel. You go from the present time and go to medieval. Present time is ruined, back to the ancient time, and whatever the last one is.
Mm.
He travels through time, activating Hidden Palace and warping through using the probably the Maza Emerald, probably conceptualized then as well.
Yeah. So ironically, they were doing the Nintendo thing as having the light world, dark world business before Nintendo decided to just capitalize on that.
Pretty much.
There you go, kids.
Yeah. So, but a lot of people, but the thing is that they were conceptualizing Sonic 2, but when it talks with Naoto Oshima, because Yuji Naka and I forget his name again, Yasuhara, went to America to do Sega Technical Institute.
Yeah, that's
true.
They
made Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic 2 Knuckles, and a few other games as well. Yeah. Whereas Naoto Oshima was still in Japan, and they were making Sonic CD. That was meant to be the flagship title for that system.
Exactly. I mean, again, ironically, this was, again, if you want to talk about exactly when and where, like I said, they had this idea for 2, and then it ended up in a different game.
So, because according to Yuji Naka, there was actually a lot of pressure to do a numbered sequel because the first one did so fucking well, and shifted Sega's actual hold on the video game market in America. Because they sold Sonic 1 with the Mega Drive.
Exactly, yeah. And remember, at this point, there were sort of two separate Sonic teams. There was the US division, and then there was the Japanese division. At the moment, it's back to the Japanese division, although I think they're trying to branch back into the US again.
I think so, because we know for a fact, that Sonic Team America got shut down after Knight's Journey of Dreams.
Yeah. So again, this is just more history of, when they were just figuring out, we've got this major hit, what the hell do? We need to expand.
Yeah, honestly, like seeing this concept art, I honestly would like to see this game, or at least the actual concept of this, put into a game. And I know we have Sonic CD, we have Sonic Time Twisted as well, a fan game.
Yeah.
But that narrative is a bit fucking dark.
Yeah.
And they took a lot of inspiration from the Fleetway comics as well.
Okay, right, fair enough.
But that had passed in future time travel. But that was in the same vein as Sonic CD.
Yeah.
I want to see a time travel narrative where you travel between different areas of the island after a few zones.
Yeah, it's interesting even seeing them as the big island thing, because this thing reminds me a bit in Russ Adventure when you're going around and when you access new levels and bits, you start expanding the island to new areas and stuff. So this was going to be like that gimmick, but again, backwards and forwards in time.
I never really thought about that.
Yeah, but that's what it kind of reminds me of visually. But again, I was thinking that you think about most games these days, it's about the more you play it, the more you expand areas you want to go, and you can go back to them, find secret stuff and all that thing. And again, this is just doing it with time travel. There's even these little drawings of little things like...
Yeah, there's a few Sonic 1 stuff as well.
Yeah. There's one where it goes past a wooden bridge and it breaks apart and then it ends up hitting what looks like a door thing. I think it's meant to be
maybe a switch or an enemy.
Yeah, exactly. So it is kind of saying... hey, the wooden bridge that's been in 1, that was going to do more than just,
Yeah, and then we have seen Sonic Mania, we got a flame shooter go across one of those bridges, it burns.
Yeah.
So we got some people, so I guess Christian and Headcanon and probably get, I can't remember the third one.
The other one.
Yeah. Taxman and Stealth were actually looking into the actual history and actually, let's do that. We got a little spikes on a little windmill thing.
Yeah, I was going to say this little one where it's like you're standing on the spike bridge thing, which if you go down it, it'll get you on the floor and then will smack you, into the next area underneath. Again, I don't know whether...
the link is in the description for the actual concept art, but this just looks so... it looks gorgeous. I know it's concept art, but I have looked at concept
these are really
art.
doodles. This is doodles on graph paper, the sort of thing where people just, sketch out an idea, what about this? Any good? And, that's how a lot of this gaming stuff works.
I'm surprised people actually hold on to, when you actually bring up old stuff from, 20 years ago. I'm not looking at 26, 25 years ago right now.
Yeah.
Looking at actual getting concept art that's been preserved is a historic moment.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, most of the time when projects end, most people just either pack them away or just throw them in the bin because they never assume anybody wants to see this afterwards because it's, it's finished and done with, move on.
BBC's Doctor Who.
Exactly, yeah, the whole story of Doctor Who. But it's funny again because, all right, I'm not too sure, I might be wrong in this info, but again, am I right saying this is the guy who was responsible for designing Green Hill Zone and actually the guy who actually drew all the little areas, like the little squares on the paper. Am I right in saying that? Because I do know at one point somebody from Sonic Team moved to Naughty Dog by the time they were working on Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, yeah. Yasuhara actually was with Sega until 2000s, where he went to Naughty Dog and worked on Jak 2, 3, and possibly X. Then he went to Namco. I'm not too sure what he worked on then, and now he is currently with Nintendo.
Yeah.
So this is a guy who knows his games.
Yeah, and again, this is a guy. I remember there was an interview with Jason Rubin years ago where he said like he would often want to try and get his name out because at that point, again, like we said with Stan Lee, is that Yuji Naka-san was the man who was kind of looked as the lead main guy most of the time, and he was viewed as just one of the other people in the office.
Okay. I got his resume up. From Sonic 1 all the way to Sega Smash Pack. So he didn't work on the adventure games, unfortunately.
No.
But with Naughty Dog, went from Jak 2, 3, X, and the first Uncharted game. Then went to Namco for Pac-Man Party, and now currently he's working on the Mario versus Donkey Kong series, or the Mini Mario series.
Yeah. But like I said, it's basically this is one guy who was helpful in a big way to making Sonic the Hedgehog what it is. And, this is the thing in the industry is that it's funny because we don't assume really this will become important stuff or really worthwhile at the time because you just think it's a project, you move on and you just keep working because that's what you're trying to do in a living. But the fact being that this guy has managed to go to a conference and show this stuff off in front of people to say, look, here's a bunch of ideas I had that we could have done, but time or reasons or just a simple I don't want that idea, because sometimes that's what it happens. People argue when they get into fights about what should be in, what shouldn't be in. It's human nature. But the fact that we get to see this stuff, and like I said, that we're at a point now where we're starting to see more and more of like the history of how a lot of these big games were made. Ironically, before Crash's comeback, we did get a lot of news about how Crash 1 even started. The very bare bones of it was something different. The idea, what it was maybe what we didn't think it was be. Sorry about that. But again, this is the way, what I love about this stuff with the internet is that we get to see this stuff now. And, if they're willing to show this out to the rest of the world, then all I can say is, please, we will gladly, give the time and venue for you people to tell your stories, because if anything else, that is the most precious things about this type of things.
Yeah.
But after that, basically saying, yeah, Sonic Team, if you're listening, please, if you're not doing this for Forces, here's an idea afterwards.
Yeah, time travel narrative done right. Done right.
Yes, there's a big difference.